Hello friends, welcome to another episode of Techie Tuesdays. I'm your host and coach S. Ravi Kumar. Techie Tuesdays is a weekly show where I answer to your tech and career related queries. So if you like my answers, please subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and colleagues. So without further ado, let's get started with today's questions. So the first question is by Sam Raj. He's asking, which company should I go for, IT service based or product based companies if I'm aspiring for government job? Where can I get enough time to prepare? So Sam, if you are preparing for government job, my suggestion for you would be to don't go for any other job, especially private job, whether it is product based company or services based IT company. You shouldn't join there because every private job has their roles and responsibility, and if somebody is paying you, then of course they will expect you to spend 8 hours or more than 8 hours in doing their job or whatever task is being assigned to you. So my suggestion for you would be to either do tuitions, because since you are already preparing for government jobs, so let's say you are preparing for bank PO or you are preparing for IAS, so probably you should go for tuitions to 10th and 12th students or the other students which are reading in same subjects. For example, I think for bank PO you need to do mathematics, you need to have mathematics also in one of the paper is mathematics. I think I haven't checked those requirements in quite a long time, so I can't tell exactly which subjects we are talking about here, but pick any one of the subjects. Like let's say if you are preparing for IAS or IPS or civil services exams, then I think there is history is one of the subject which most of the aspirants choose because it's easy to remember and all those things. So my suggestion for you would be to start giving tuitions to, if you have monetary problems, then probably start giving tuitions and other alternative ways of earnings rather than going for a job. Because if you are going for a job, you are liable for a person to give 100% to that job, and then of course you won't get time to prepare. So my suggestion would be to go for either tuitions or any alternative way of earning rather than going for a job, if you are seriously planning to prepare for government jobs or any other exams. Next question is from John Appleseed. He's asking, why is the normal 9 to 5 job considered taboo nowadays? What if a person is making decent money and is happy doing what he does? John, there is a very old song, कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना. So don't think this as a taboo. It's people thinking. You don't, if you think that what people will think and why something is taboo or not, then you won't be happy. Do whatever makes you happy. If you are happy doing whatever job you are doing, then of course you should continue doing it. And frankly speaking, 9 to 5 jobs are not that taboo. Half of India, or I would say more than half of India, is preparing for government jobs or mostly government jobs, which are considered as 9 to 5 jobs, because there you have to go to standard 9 to 5 office timings, and then you have leaves and all those things. So it's not a taboo, frankly speaking. It's mostly taboo in youngsters who consider themselves as uber cool or adventurous or falana dhimkana, all those things you can see from various TV shows, especially those I won't name the TV shows. So yeah, you can see various TV shows saying that okay, 9 to 5 is a rut, it's a hamster wheel, it's this, it's that. Do whatever you like. Whatever job you are happy, whatever job makes you happy, do that job. If jobs make you happy, do the job. If business makes you happy, do the business. The idea is to give 100% in whatever you do, and you can give 100% in a 9 to 5 job also. So it primarily depends on your choice, what you like. Don't run behind what people will say or why it is a taboo or not. Makes whatever you feel comfortable, or do whatever makes you happy. So next question is from Anup Anthony. He is asking, Will we look back at 2020 as the year that opened up remote working and online learning? Yes, Anup, we will look back 2020 year as the year which opened up remote working and online learning. Rather than opened up, I would say it brought them to the mainstream. So earlier they were there were many remote workers, there were many sites for remote worker, there were many companies which were training people to be remote worker and supporting how to support remote worker. I know one Microsoft employee who is remotely working from home since last 14 years, way before COVID-19 situation. His name is Scott Henselman. I'm giving a shout out to him because I admire him a lot. I follow him. He's very good technical person. So yes, he's working as work from home since last 14 years. So it was like benefits of them, benefits of remote working and online learning were always there. Just 2020 brought them to the mainstream. So this COVID situation brought all these things to the mainstream as that, okay, this is another mainstream option that, okay, you should work remotely or you should learn online. Next question is from Olivia. She's asking, do I need to have certifications for an IT job as a CSC student? Olivia, you don't need certification for an IT job or any kind of job if you are already a computer science student. So if you have a computer science degree, then you don't need any other certification. Certifications are basically the way to express that yes, you are you have expertise in a particular topic or in a particular subject. But if you already have a degree in that subject, then you don't need it. Next question is from Yash Kulkarni. He is asking, which degree should be necessary to get job in Microsoft? Yes, any computer related degree will get you a job in Microsoft provided there is an opening which has that degree mentioned in it. As simple as that. So it primarily depends on what kind of opening it is. So if it is a sales related opening, probably an MBA from a reputed institute will do. If it is a developer related degree or programming related job or developer job, then any degree from any computer related degree from any institute or reputed institute will do, of course. So it primarily depends on job, that what kind of job they are looking, what kind of opening is there, and based on that the degree is there. Next question is from Vector. He is asking, how do you shift your mindset from an individual contributor to a managerial role in a team? Vector, a managerial role is not just a managerial role, it's basically a leadership position. So when somebody is appointed or is promoted as a manager in a team, he is basically appointed as the leader of the team. So in order to become a manager, or in order to become a good manager or shift your mindset towards a managerial role, you need to improve on your leadership skills. You need to gain the trust of your teammates, you need to guide them, you need to support them, you need to proactively take new assignments or challenging assignments, or like if somebody is not able to do it, you should be able to do it. So start taking more leadership opportunities, then only you will automatically your mindset will change towards a managerial, your seniors will consider you for a managerial role, that okay, this person is taking leadership, this person is taking ownership, this person is taking accountability. So most of the things that you have to become a good team member first to become a good team lead or a manager. Next question is from Rajat Kapoor. He is asking, can someone in IT industry write simple blogs on technology topics in Google Blogs and mention that in an IT resume? Rajat, yes, you can write blogs and mention them in your IT resume, but make sure that you don't divulge any company sensitive data in those blogs. Otherwise your company may terminate your employment. So you need to check that you don't divulge any company specific data or any sensitive data which is specific to your company in your blogs. Otherwise, you can of course write blogs on any technical topic which you are learning or which you wanted to share with your colleagues, friends, or anyone who want to learn about that topic. You can of course write blogs and mention it in your resume. In fact, it is considered as a good practice, or you can say it's considered as a an added advantage in your resume. If you are writing blog, it shows that okay, you have mastery on those subject and you have something to prove that yes, you have done that thing practically, or you have solved that technical problem practically. So of course you can write blogs and mention it in your resume, as long as you are not breaking any contract or without divulging any company sensitive data. Also, my suggestion for you would be to not go on regular blogs like Blogspot or WordPress or something. Probably for long term it would be best to create your own domain. Either get a own domain. The domains are very cheap, so get a domain by your name. It would help you in making your brand for future job opportunities, of course. Or you can make a profile on any popular technical site. For example, there is Dev2, there is C# Corner, there is Code Project. So you can create profile on these sites and then write blogs here, because these are kind of technical blog sites. So people will you will also be considered for many awards given by these sites, especially C# Corner and Code Project. They give awards to the bloggers whose blogs are viewed more and all those things. So it will give you an appreciation also. So I think you should create profile on these sites and then write blogs there, rather than writing blog on a generic like WordPress site or Google site. Next question is from Ashutosh Darekar. He is asking, should I take 3 lakh rupees software engineering role or a 3.5 lakh rupees technical support role offer as a fresher after BTech in IT, and why? Ashutosh, whenever we take interviews, whenever there is a technical interviews of fresher, there is one question in that interviews which says that where do you see yourself after 5 years? So there is a reason behind putting that question in the interview process, and the reason is to see that how clear a person is toward his long-term goal. Because when he has a clear goal that okay, where does he see himself after 5 years, then of course he might have taken some steps and done some homework, done some data digging, and probably done some preparation to get to that role. That okay, he wants to become a team lead, he wants to become a good software engineer, good developer, or whatever he wants to become. So my suggestion for you would be, rather than comparing for 50,000 rupees, check that what do you want, where do you see yourself after 5 years. Do you want to become a senior developer in a certain technology, or do you want to become a technical support manager in a company? So the primary thing lies on your choice. What do you like? Do you if you have done BTech, do you like programming? Do you love programming? If you love programming, then of course go for software engineer role. Even if you don't love programming, you can go for software engineer role. Then also probably there are many other options which start from software engineer role first. For that, probably you can view one of my another video. I'll give the link in the description, which I have recently done, where I have explained the different software job roles in Indian IT industry. So you can check that this can be your career path, whatever you want to do. So my suggestion is find your why first. What do you want to do? Next question is from Brajesh Singh. He is asking, why do IT companies do campus hiring when there is a high competition off campus and they can get good employees at less pay? Brajesh, tell me one thing. Why do you go on Amazon or Flipkart or any other e-commerce site rather than buying it from local kirana store? You know, you have to work hard in this situation. If you have to buy from your local kirana store, it's primarily ease of use. You get so many options on all from one e-commerce site, may it Amazon, may it Flipkart, may it any other e-commerce site. You get all the options there. So you are saving time, and of course if there is any offer going on, so you are saving money also. In the same scenario, IT companies also have budgets for hiring candidates. So when you are hiring candidates from campus interview, most of the times the things are like to and fro going and all those things. There is tie up with the campus. So most of the time colleges pay for the travel of the employees who are going for taking interviews, or if they don't pay, they arrange for the accommodation. So there is many tie-ups and many monetary things going on between company and the IT colleges there. So that is one thing. Another thing is of course time saving. When we talk about off-campus hiring, it will take time. People will come to their office. They will use their resources. They have to pull people from team or who are working already there, technology people to take interviews, or other people to take interviews from their regular work. This way it is more planned and they get pool of resources at one place, so it saves time also. So basically it's, in simple terms, I would say it's the ROI or return of investment. So in return of investment is more in case of doing campus hiring than doing off campus. Next question is from Prince Kumar. He is asking, how does Technical Guruji get so many custom built products from companies? Did you ever get custom products from these companies? Prince, to get custom products from any company, probably you need to register for their affiliate program. Also, if you are a big celebrity like Technical Guruji, who has more than 10 million subscribers and followers on YouTube, so he has very big subscriber and fan following. So he's kind of a big influencer in terms of technology in India. So that's primary reason that companies also contact him. So in many times when some company had to promote their technology or promote their technology based product, they contact either Technical Guruji or Geeky Ranjit or any other big influencer. So the main reason is how do he get it? In simple terms, either he contact the company or the company contacts him. These are only two ways. In case of him contacting the company, that's kind of a rare situation, especially if he is more interested in some product, then of course he will be contacting to the company, but most of the times companies contact them. Now coming to the second part of your question, that did you ever get custom product from these companies? I'm sorry, I haven't got any custom product from any company. The primary reason is that I don't have that much subscriber base. So that's another reason to subscribe to my channel. So please subscribe to my channel. Next question is from G Fakir Chand. He's asking, can we apply Kanban in place of Scrum? Should I call you Fakir Chand? I hope that's fine. So Fakir Chand, you can apply Kanban in place of Scrum, but this decision lies with your project manager. So it primarily based on what methodology he wants to use to manage his project, because Scrum has its own benefits and drawbacks. So this is his if your project manager has taken a decision that okay, I will be using Scrum for doing project management, then he might have taken based on some analysis which he or she has done. So probably it's your project manager's decision that whether your project should use Kanban or Scrum. But yes, of course you can use Kanban in place of Scrum. Most of the companies also do that, they use Scrum along with Kanban. So they use Scrum for managing the sprints, and for managing their daily tasks they use Kanban. So that's also can be done. Next question is from Abhay. He is asking, is an 80k salary good for starting as a fresher in IT as a full stack developer? Abhay, there is a old saying that there is end to man's need, but there is no ends to man's greed. So it primarily depends on what are your greeds or what are your needs. 18k is of course a good salary for anyone joining IT as a fresher. There are freshers even who are working on 5k 6k. So yes, of course it's a good salary, especially if you are a fresher, and especially you are getting that full stack developer job. So this term full stack developer is highly misused, I would say. But anyways, there are nowadays this term is very widely used everywhere, that I have to become a full stack developer, full stack developer. Even I might be coming up a video with how to become a full stack developer in .NET Technologies, probably a roadmap with that. But yes, if you are getting 18k salary as a full stack developer, that's a good salary. Go with it. Next question is from Tanmay. He is asking, to get a decent paying IT job in India, does one have to know all the languages like Java, C, C++, SQL, Python, Unix, etc., and a specialization in one language, or can just one specialization will do? Tanmay, to get a decent paying IT job in India, one specialization will do. Simple answer. So you don't need to be master of all these languages. If you have specialization in one language, of course you will get a decent pay. If you have a good specialization or you have mastery in that language, you will get better salary. So one specialization is good. You don't need to learn so many things. You don't need to become jack of all. You might be a student, that's why you are asking this question, because you might be learning about all these technologies during your course of computer education. So that's their curriculum. They want their students to know about everything. And in another way, they might want to tell you that, okay, most of the programming languages, the concepts are same. So basically that's their way of teaching this to you. But if you talk about practical working experience, companies look for specialization in one technology. So either one, whether it is .NET, whether it is C#, whether it is C++, whether it is Java. So companies look for specialist. Next question is from Neha Naz. She is asking, are service-based companies' experience really bad, or are product-based companies really hyped in India? Neha, my frank opinion is product-based companies are hyped in India, to be very frank. When we talk about product-based company, most of the people talk about only FANG companies, or Facebook, Amazon, what is N? I don't know. Anyways, Facebook, Amazon, Google, Microsoft. So most of the time people talk about these product-based companies. But when you talk about a startup is a small startup which is working on a product, is also a product-based company. So not all service-based companies are bad. Similarly, not all product-based companies are good. It's primarily in service-based company, it primarily depends on the project you are working on, the kind of project you are working on, the kind of manager you have. And the same thing applies to product-based company also. The kind of work you are doing, the kind of product you are working on, the kind of project you are working on. So both of these, in my opinion, and what I have learned from my last, I would say more than 1.5 decade of experience, I can say that product-based company thing is probably overhyped. It primarily depends on which project or which project you are joining, and which manager you are joining. There is one statement from I think Narayan Murthy or somebody has said that people don't leave companies, they leave their managers. I have worked in both product-based company and service-based companies, and I don't have any specialization that okay, I want to work in this product-based company or this service-based company. I love a technology, I like to work in that technology. As simple as that. Or I love a domain, I like to work in that domain. So probably it primarily depends on people goals. This is just a hype that okay, product-based companies are very good. Service-based companies are also good. They also do the same activities which product-based companies do, if you talk about extracurricular activities or benefits and features. So those were my answer to your tech and career related queries in this episode of Techie Tuesdays. If you want your questions to be answered in next episode of Techie Tuesdays, you can DM me your questions on any social media platform with hashtag Techie Tuesdays. All my social media handles are Techie Rathor. I hope you like this video, and if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and colleagues. So until my next video, take care. Bye bye.